When I was younger, I didn't eat very much, so I was very skinny. And when I started weightlifting, I started eating a lot more. And I noticed that although I was gaining some mass around my upper body, I was gaining a lot of fat on my belly and midsection. Even to this day, if I go on a bulk, majority of my weight gain is on my stomach. My arms and legs still stay very lean, so all of the weight just goes around my belly and my lower back. So I have those skinny fat genetics, let's say. That's why I'm very careful with what and how much I eat on a daily basis. And in this video, I'm going to break down what skinny fat is and how you can go from being skinny fat to being jacked and ripped like I've done it in the next couple of years. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? It's TrainerNeal. So firstly, what is skinny fat? Like, what does being skinny fat actually mean? Well, someone that is skinny fat will store more fat around their midsection compared to other areas. So basically, when you eat in a calorie surplus, you'll end up storing fat first on your belly, and then when you eat in a calorie deficit and when you're on a cut, it'll be the last place where fat is removed from. So you'll end up losing fat from everywhere else, your face, your legs, your arms, and then it'll be your stomach. So to help you understand this a little bit better, I'm going to go over the 3 body types. Now, firstly, you have a mesomorph. A mesomorph is someone who generally finds it relatively easy to build muscle and stay lean. For example, you have Simian Panda. Now, whether or not he's natural, I really don't know. But what I do know is that he has a mesomorph type body. And then you have an ectomorph, so someone who is really skinny with a very small frame and finds it difficult to gain weight and build muscle. So me when I was younger, basically. And then you have an endomorph, so someone who is overweight and struggles to lose the fat. Now, an ectomorph can eat anything and everything and still struggle to gain weight, whereas an endomorph has to be very careful about what they eat because they easily put on fat. Now, someone who is skinny fat will generally fall in between an ectomorph and an endomorph. So they'll have a very small frame with pretty small arms and legs and upper body, but they easily put on fat around their midsection and stomach like an endomorph. So it's kind of the worst of both worlds, but don't worry, there's a way to reverse it that I'll get into shortly. So now let's talk about if you should go on a bulk, because you'll have those gym bros that have no idea what they're talking about, saying, "Oh bro, you look skinny, you need to gain some weight." But then you look down at your stomach and you still have fat. So if you end up going on a bulk, you just end up gaining even more fat around your midsection and feeling even more insecure. So it's probably not going to be the best idea to do that. So then should you go on a cut because you want to remove that belly fat? The problem is if you go on a cut and reduce calories by a lot, then you'll end up having skinnier arms and legs. Yes, you'll lose some fat around the midsection, but you'll just end up looking skinny. So that's not going to be a great option either. Well, what the do you do then? Well, you've got to maintain for at least 6 months. Now, the maintenance phase can last anywhere between 6 months to 2 years, depending on how much muscle you build in that time frame. If you build muscle faster, then you can have a shorter maintenance phase. But if it takes you longer to build muscle mass, then I suggest to maintain for longer. Now, what do I actually mean by maintenance phase? Well, you need to eat at maintenance calories. And how do you figure out your maintenance calories? Well, you can use my calorie calculator, which is in the description below. Plug in your values and figure out your maintenance calories and stick to those calories on average on a daily basis. So the goal is to build muscle mass, get hard, and lose a little bit of fat. During this period, your body composition will change. You should have more muscle mass and a little bit less fat. So to do this, you need to start taking care of your nutrition. The reason why you have become skinny fat is because you aren't taking care of what you're eating. So my advice would be to have a higher protein diet and cut out processed and junk foods, or have less of it if you can. So have a higher protein diet with less refined carbs, so that way you'll look less fluffy and you'll be more hard. So during your maintenance phase, I would also suggest that you do cardio every day too. Now, don't go and do high intensity cardio because that's just going to drain your energy. But something like steady state or zone 2 cardio will be just fine. The reason being is that steady state cardio will allow you to stay in that fat burning zone. So you'll end up burning more calories from your fat stores, and it's just not going to drain your energy for the rest of the day. Remember, the prime goal is to build muscle mass. You can do light cardio after your weightlifting session. Now, if you can't do cardio at the gym because, let's say, you don't have time, then I would advise to get more steps in during the day. So increase your step count by 5,000 to 10,000 steps. Remember, this is another form of zone 2 cardio, and it will allow you to burn more calories throughout the day. So if you're burning more calories during the day, then that means you can eat more during the day as well, because your maintenance level will be higher, allowing you to eat more. This in turn will allow you to build more muscle mass, hence improving your body composition even more. The more protein and calories you're able to eat on a daily basis, the better your performance and recovery will be. So the aim of this phase is to keep the weight stable. Now, it's not always going to be. Your weight is going to fluctuate on a day-to-day basis, but weekly, you want to try and keep your weight as stable as possible. You'll have some days where you overeat and some days where you undereat, but it's fine, we're human. Allow it to happen. Just overall for the week, try and eat at maintenance or thereabout. Remember, it's not about daily calories, but it's more about weekly calories. So say your daily maintenance is 2,000, then your weekly calories is going to be 2,000 times 7 days, which is 14,000 calories. Now, let's say you overeat on some days, so you go above that 2,000 mark. Then for the next few days, just eat under that 2,000, balance it out. Then your average will be 14,000 for the entire week. And that's how you're going to keep your weight stable. It's not rocket science, it's just maths. If you suck at maths, then don't worry, that's why we have calculators. So that is the maintenance phase done. So now what do you do after this maintenance phase? You know, once you've built some muscle, lost a little bit of fat, and you're pretty satisfied with the way you look now, or you're just bored after eating at a maintenance for so long. What do you do next? So the best thing to do would be to go on a cut. Go on a cut and remove the excess fat around your belly. You see, you still have fat around your waist, and therefore you still may feel uncomfortable because of that. I know I did when I was around 19, 20. At this point, I had gained a lot of muscle, but I also had a lot of fat on my stomach and around my midsection. So what did I do? I just went on a huge cut and got down to around 6% body fat. I actually entered a physique competition beforehand just to get some extra motivation and to prove to myself I can do it. Now, that cut lasted around 16 weeks, and I went from 92 kg all the way down to 76 kg. So I lost a total of 16 kilograms. Now that's around 1 kilogram per week on average. And this allowed me to show off the gains that I had built during my maintenance phase, and it felt pretty good, to be honest. So my advice would be to go on a cut, reduce calories and shred down. Now I would suggest to start with a 300 to 500 calorie daily deficit and take it from there as the weeks go by. Aim to lose around 1% of your body weight per week over the course of the 12 to 16 weeks, depending on how much fat you need to lose. So if you want to drop 1 pound of body fat per week, then you need to be in a 500 calorie daily deficit or a 3,500 calorie weekly deficit. And I also suggest to keep in the cardio to make it easier for you to hit that goal. So great, now you've done the cut and you can reveal your new built physique. Congrats, you're a new man. So this will get rid of your skinny fat look. The length of this entire process will vary from person to person, but give it some time, don't be in a hurry. Skinny fat is hard to change because you need to go through 2 to 3 different processes. You can't just go on a cut or a bulk. It doesn't work like that. It's not that simple. So remember, it will definitely take a little bit more time, but be patient with the process. So what do you do now after you've gone down to that new low body fat? Well, you want to reverse diet back up to maintenance. Give yourself a break from dieting for so long. You see, you'll probably be under calories by some amount, between 500 to 1,000 by the end of your cut. So my suggestion would be to reverse diet back up to your original maintenance calories by adding in calories to your diet very slowly every few weeks. If you want to know more about the reverse dieting phase, now leave a link below of the video I have done on it. Go give it a watch. So after you've done your reverse dieting phase and you're back up to eating at maintenance calories, then you can either stay at maintenance calories if you're pretty satisfied with the way you look and what you have, or you can choose to do another cut if you have more fat to lose, or you just want to get even more shredded. So let's say you're hovering around 12 to 15% body fat, but you want to get to under 10% body fat, then just do another cut for around 12 weeks. Or if you want to build more muscle mass, then go on a lean bulk for 12 to 16 weeks. Or if you just want to build a little bit more muscle mass, but still stay lean, then I suggest to do mini bulks and cuts. So you would mini bulk for around 4 to 6 weeks, and then you'll do a mini cut for around 2 to 4 weeks. And this will allow you to build muscle mass faster while staying lean. And if you want me to do a full video explaining what it is and how to do it, then drop a comment down below and I'll definitely do that video. So you have a few options on what to do next, but it's really going to be dependent on what you want to look like in the next couple of years. Just make sure that you know exactly what you want and then choose the right option for you. And finally, I'm going to talk about the don'ts. So what you don't want to do if you're skinny fat. Don't go on a bulk. Again, you're going to get these guys saying, oh, you're too small, bro, you need to gain weight. Don't listen to them. Unless you're around 12 to 15% body fat, so you only have a little bit of fat, then don't go on a bulk, because you'll just end up gaining even more fat, getting an even bigger belly, and then you'll end up getting demotivated and you may end up giving up on the entire process. Next, don't go into a huge calorie deficit and try to remove the fat, because you'll just end up looking skinny. So don't do the opposite. Don't go into a calorie deficit, lose muscle mass, because then you'll end up having an even smaller frame and possibly you'll still have belly fat, and that won't look good. Remember, the first phase is maintenance. Next is don't be impatient. I mentioned it before and I'll mention it again, because I believe it's very important, and the reason why so many people don't get away from that skinny fat look is because they're just impatient. They don't stick with the process for that long. Remember, you're going to have to go through 2 to 3 different phases to get rid of that skinny fat look and have a more aesthetic look. So you're going to need to give it some time, and your body is going to change slowly over time. So just follow the plan and have some patience. Finally, don't be demotivated if you are skinny fat. Just understand that it's normal. I was there once, and a lot of people have this body type. Just know that there is a way to reverse it and have fun with the process. No need to walk around depressed and sad because you look like that. Just know that if you work hard, you can change that and have a much better physique later on. Also, don't get super attached to how you look. Now, I know in this day and age on social media, it can be very easy to compare ourselves to other people, but you want to try and get away from that, because that's just going to make you feel very self-conscious. It'll make you feel bad all the time, and your mental health will start to deteriorate. So just remember, focus on yourselves. Life is not all about looks. You also have your brain, so take care of that too. So guys, that's the video on how you can transform yourself if you have that skinny fat body type. It's not that difficult, but you just gotta have some patience and discipline. And guys, if you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, then do me a favor and smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you like my content, then do me another favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications, because I'm going to be releasing a video every single week just like this, and you don't want to miss them. And if you want to know my top 10 weight loss tips on how to get shredded, then I recommend watching this video next. And remember, stay natty, stay clean, and peace.